The internet is an absolute chaos tonight, and the names at the center of it all are Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, and now, heartbreakingly, Stefon Diggs' mother. What started as whispers about a tense situation between Cardi B and Diggs has now exploded into one of the wildest viral storms social media has seen in a long time. Fans are watching every update, every blurry courthouse clip, every emotional reaction, and every cryptic post, trying to piece together a story that seems to be getting more dramatic by the hour. Some say the entire thing began with a heated fallout between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs behind the scenes. Others believe the public is only seeing one small piece of a much bigger personal crisis. And when rumors began circulating that Diggs was at the center of serious courtroom buzz while his mother appeared overwhelmed by emotion, the internet did what it always does. It took one emotional moment, attached it to two celebrity names, and turned it into a full-scale spectacle that nobody can look away from. According to social media chatter, tension between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had already been building for some time before the courtroom rumors started trending. Fans had been dissecting everything from alleged private confrontations to cryptic online behavior, and every small clue seemed to feed the growing belief that whatever was going on between them had reached a breaking point. Some accounts claimed Cardi B had been furious over things she allegedly discovered behind the scenes. Others suggested Diggs had been trying to stay quiet while pressure mounted from multiple directions. Whether any of those rumors were true almost stopped mattering the second the internet sensed that something serious had happened. Because once Cardi B's name became tied to Stefon Diggs in a high drama context, the story was always going to spread far beyond gossip pages. It moved into entertainment blogs, sports channels, reaction videos, fan live streams, and comment sections all at once. Things escalated even further when reports began circulating that Stefon Diggs had been seen arriving at or near a courthouse, while Cardi B's name was still being dragged into online theories about what may have happened between them. The internet immediately started stitching the two narratives together. People began asking whether the rumored conflict with Cardi B had anything to do with the legal buzz surrounding Diggs. Was the courtroom situation connected to private drama that had finally spilled into public view? Was Cardi B somehow part of the reason Diggs' name was suddenly trending in a more serious and emotional context? Or was the public simply combining two separate situations because the timing felt too perfect to ignore? No matter what the truth was, the result was the same. The story got bigger, louder, and far more emotional once family entered the picture. That is where Stefon Diggs' mother became such a powerful part of the viral narrative. Multiple accounts claimed that she appeared visibly shaken during the day's events, and some posts went even further, saying she had an emotional breakdown after hearing the kind of talk surrounding her son's situation. Some described her as crying, others claimed she had to be supported by those near her. A few dramatic pages used even more extreme language, but what stayed consistent across the rumors was this image of a mother who looked completely devastated by what was unfolding. And in the middle of all that, Cardi B's name kept resurfacing, because fans were convinced that the emotional and personal stress Diggs was facing could not be separated from the chaos that had allegedly been building between the two of them. One of the reasons this story hit so hard online is because it combined three things that always go viral fast: celebrity tension, public legal buzz, and a family member's emotional reaction. Cardi B brings the force of music culture, celebrity blogs, and social media fandom. Stefon Diggs brings the world of sports commentary, NFL attention, and athlete-focused gossip. And his mother brings the human angle that instantly makes the story feel heavier, sadder, and more emotionally charged. Suddenly, this was not just a story about rumors. It became a story about pressure, pain, family, and the idea that private conflict between Cardi B and Diggs may have escalated into something far more public than anyone expected. Reaction channels were quick to connect all the dots, even the ones that may never have belonged together in the first place. Some creators suggested that Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had reached a point where private disagreements were now affecting everything around them, including public image, emotional stability, and family relationships. Others said the internet was overreacting, turning normal celebrity tension into a courtroom saga, because that is what gets the most clicks. But even the most skeptical viewers admitted that the emotional reaction from Diggs' mother changed the tone completely. Once viewers started seeing screenshots, still images, and witness-style posts describing her distress, the story stopped feeling like ordinary gossip. It started feeling tragic, whether the full context was known or not. Some fans believe Cardi B herself may have become overwhelmed by the scale of what was happening, not necessarily because of legal details, but because her name was now being attached to every version of the story. In one theory making the rounds online, Cardi B and Diggs had allegedly been trying to deal with issues privately, but once the public sensed tension, everything fell apart in the worst way possible. That theory suggests the courtroom buzz was not caused by Cardi B, but that their alleged confrontation became part of the same media storm, causing the public to connect one dramatic event to another, and that connection, whether fair or unfair, placed Cardi B right in the emotional center of the narrative alongside Diggs and his mother. Other fans think Cardi B's silence is what made things even more intense. Because if she had immediately denied involvement in any part of the larger rumor cycle, perhaps people would have separated her from the courtroom buzz faster. But when a public figure with Cardi B's level of visibility says nothing, social media rarely stays calm. Instead, it starts interpreting every post, every emoji, every deleted story, and every track lyric as a hidden clue. Some users claimed a cryptic post from Cardi B hinted that she was emotionally exhausted by what had happened between her and Diggs. Others insisted she was choosing silence because she knew the internet would do all the storytelling for her. Either way, her absence from direct commentary made her feel even more present in the story. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs was being pulled in two directions at once. On one side, there was the legal and courtroom speculation that had already put him under intense pressure. On the other side, there was the never-ending discussion about his relationship with Cardi B and the idea that whatever had happened between them may have contributed to the emotional weight of the moment. Diggs' mother, according to the online narrative, seemed caught in the middle of both worlds. She was not just watching her son face public scrutiny, she was also watching his personal life become content for millions of strangers. That is why so many fans reacted so strongly to the reports about her emotional state. Whether she collapsed, sat down suddenly, cried openly, or simply looked devastated, the message the internet took from it was the same. This was hurting the family deeply. As the day went on, the internet kept replaying the emotional triangle at the heart of the story. Cardi B, the famous artist whose name carries enormous cultural weight. Stefon Diggs, the NFL star whose career and reputation were now under an entirely different kind of spotlight. And his mother, the family figure who represented the real emotional cost of whatever was happening. Some viewers said they felt sympathy for Cardi B too, arguing that if there truly had been serious conflict between her and Diggs, then she may have been carrying her own private stress while the public turned it all into a show. Others focused entirely on Diggs' side, saying the pressure on him seemed unbearable if he was dealing with both public legal buzz and personal fallout at the same time. But almost everyone agreed on one thing: his mother's visible pain made the whole story feel more human and much harder to dismiss as just another rumor cycle. Several viral posts even imagined what the courtroom day must have felt like emotionally from the family's perspective. A mother walking into a tense environment already knowing the internet had spent days turning her son's personal life, professional uncertainty, and rumored conflict with Cardi B into a non-stop media event. A son trying to hold himself together while cameras, bystanders, and gossip accounts waited for a reaction. And somewhere in the background of it all, Cardi B's name continuing to hover over every discussion, whether she was physically present or not. That image, fair or not, became the emotional foundation of the entire story. Not legal facts, not official documents, emotion, public pressure, family pain. And that is what makes this kind of script so powerful in the social media era. People do not just react to information. They react to emotional framing. When they hear that Cardi B and Stefon Diggs may have had a serious private fallout, they lean in. When they hear courtroom rumors attached to Diggs, they lean in further. But when they hear that his mother was so affected by the entire ordeal that she appeared unable to stay composed, that becomes the point where gossip crosses into something much heavier. Whether the public has the full truth or not, the emotional picture is already fixed in their minds. A son under pressure, a mother in pain, a celebrity conflict hanging over everything. The story only got more intense as more pages began suggesting that Cardi B may have known how serious things had become for Diggs, and that this may be one reason she had not spoken directly. Some said she was avoiding adding fuel to an already painful situation for his family. Others said she was letting the silence speak for itself. Still others argued that the public was wrongly placing her in a story that was bigger and more complicated than any single confrontation or rumor between the two of them. But because the internet thrives on connections, those distinctions did not matter much. In the public imagination, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were now linked not just by gossip, but by an emotional saga involving courtroom tension and a devastated mother. By evening, the comment sections were full of people begging for clarity. Some wanted Diggs to speak. Some wanted Cardi B to finally say something. Others simply wanted the truth about his mother's condition and whether the most dramatic versions of that moment had been exaggerated. But the more people asked for answers, the more the internet rewarded those offering dramatic guesses instead. Reaction videos multiplied, thumbnail headlines got darker, music and sports channels alike leaned into the sadness of the family angle. One creator said the saddest part of the whole situation was not even the rumor itself, but the thought of a mother having to watch her son go through both public scrutiny and private emotional collapse at the same time, all while Cardi B's name was being tied into the story from every direction. There is also another layer people are not talking about enough, and that is how damaging this kind of attention can be when no one controls the story anymore. For Stefon Diggs, every hour of silence makes speculation louder. For Cardi B, every indirect mention turns into another headline. And for Diggs' mother, every emotional image or witness account becomes another piece of public content, whether she asked for that attention or not. In that sense, the real story may not just be about what happened between Cardi B and Diggs, or what happened near the courtroom, but about how quickly private pain becomes public entertainment when famous names are involved. Now fans are left with a storm of unanswered questions. Was Cardi B truly part of the deeper emotional stress Diggs was under? Or did the internet simply attach her to every dramatic turn because of their rumored fallout? Did Diggs' mother break down because of what was happening legally? Because of the pressure on her son? Or because she knew the personal side involving Cardi B had already spiraled beyond repair? Did the public witness just one emotional moment and expand it into a bigger tragedy? Or are there still hidden layers that have not yet surfaced? Those questions are why this story continues to dominate online discussion. People are not just chasing facts, they are chasing the emotional truth they feel is hiding underneath the noise. And in the end, that is what keeps everyone watching. Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, and Stefon Diggs' mother have now become the center of a single emotional narrative in the eyes of the public. A narrative about pressure, heartbreak, silence, and the devastating cost of having personal conflict unfold under a spotlight that never turns off. Whether the truth turns out to be smaller than the internet thinks or even more dramatic than anyone imagined, one thing is already certain. The story has moved beyond gossip. It has become an emotional event, and until one of them speaks clearly, the internet will keep filling in the blanks with its own version of what happened between Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, and the mother who reportedly could not bear to watch it all unfold.